Okay.
So we are out of executive session. We are back into our regular session now. And the next thing on the agenda is possible action following the executive session. So that's where we are right now. And Susan has just come back into the room. After our discussion during closed session, we discussed your performance during the past year, and I heard many favorable comments about that, particularly how you really stepped up to the plate during this pandemic and how everything was very hard for the staff, but of course the burden felt mostly on your shoulders. So we want to thank you very much for your service and extraordinary effort during this pandemic. And we know that you said you didn't want a raise this year, but I am going to ask if we have a motion to award Director Lemke a $3,000 bonus at this point in time. Is there such a motion, Patty?
You can't make motions in executive session, though. So it just
we're out. We're out.
Oh, okay. Oh, so we can
wait, yeah, you have to let the public know too, right?
Yeah, because there was somebody I said I would tell. So.
All right, yeah. So we
have to wait until the other people come in.
Yeah, I guess.
Well.
Okay, so we have to exit out of executive and then go into regular.
Well, I thought we did that.
We did, supposedly.
Well, maybe we didn't take a roll call.
Well, there's 11 people here.
All right, let's take a motion just to make sure we're absolutely out of executive session and back into the regular session. I thought we did that, but maybe we didn't. Let's do it again just to be sure. So Cindy, would you take a roll call?
Okay.
We are leaving executive session and returning to open session.
Okay. Karen Diamond?
Yes.
Carolyn?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Patty?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes. Is that a yes, Linda?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So we're back into executive session. We're under number 10I. Based on our recent executive session, I'm going to ask if anyone would like to make a motion to award our director bonus, not a salary increase, but a bonus of $3,000 based on her performance for that past year. Do I have such a motion? Patty?
Yes.
Second.
Second by Linda. All right, fine. Just to clarify, there'll be no salary increase, but there is a bonus being awarded to Director Lemke. Her salary will remain the same for another year. I don't think I have any other comments. So may I have a roll call? Cindy?
Patty?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Carolyn?
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 No.
Becky?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So there was an added, Carolyn, yes.
I wanted to make a comment before the vote. I was actually taken back by this whole situation. I would have liked to evaluate Susan Lemke like we usually do. I mean, for the board to have decided to evaluate her in April is kind of surprising, and I guess it was intentional, but it sets a terrible.
I'm not sure what you're saying, Carolyn. We always evaluate our director. What do you mean?
In April, she gets evaluated in June or July last year.
My review date is May 20th, and a couple of years ago, I had suggested to the board that they start reviewing me in April because after that, it becomes all budget, budget, budget. And a lot of our interactions, Carolyn, are very, very negative during that period. So I'd asked the board to move it. Last year, it just was the pandemic that it was June. That is
Okay,
not
if I
the
can-
normal time.
We've evaluated her always in June, and I feel that the purpose of this is
True.
because the board is switching, and it just set a negative tone. And I feel like I was speechless to even congratulate her on her year and thank her for what she's done. But I think tonight's meeting has set such a negative tone, and I didn't expect us to do this with the director as well. But that's all I have to say.
I'm not sure, it was on our agenda, and we've done this in the past, and I think it's very appropriate that you have the board that's worked with Ms. Lemke during the entire past year be the one that evaluates her performance to see if she's met her goals, knows what she's done, and can make an informed decision as to whether or not she met her goals and served the board well and the district well during the past year. So there's nothing unusual about that.
No, the
So,
only thing
all right,
unusual
we're done with that
is
item.
we're
We're,
done in April.
all right, Carolyn,
And that's
All right.
my point.
we got to move on to the next agenda item. All right, the next agenda item that was added was discussion with and possible action on swearing in of trustees. So I have to read something, so I'd like everyone to put their mute button on. So hopefully you can hear what I'm saying. Everyone? Carolyn, can you put your mute on?
I'm getting there.
Susan, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you put your mute on?
Sorry.
Okay, all right. So I just want to start off this item by reading something here, and this is it. So this is in the form of a letter. Dear Director, Susan Lemke and fellow Niles-Maine Library District trustees, as most of you probably know, I was elected supervisor of Maine Township in the recent election, and I take office on May 17th. But as that date draws near and I learn more about Township Supervisor's duties, I find myself becoming concerned that I will not have enough time to also serve as a library trustee. So with great reluctance and sadness, I've concluded that after 9 years on the Niles-Maine Library Board, I must now resign my position as a library trustee. I hope that the library board will fill my spot with another person who loves the library as much as I do and who can devote to it the time it deserves. I've been honored to serve the residents of our district and hope that I've helped preserve and improve the great service our library has always provided. Working with the staff has been a great experience. I've always been impressed with how friendly, helpful, creative, and hardworking the staff members are and how they strive to serve their patrons who come to them with many questions. Susan, please convey my gratitude to your staff, and to you, I send my thanks for all you personally have done to keep the library running like a well-oiled machine, even during this pandemic. I know working with demanding board members has not always been easy for you. And my fellow trustees, I want to thank you for the opportunity to work with you. My fellow citizens who are willing to volunteer many hours of their free time to make sure this library, this institution, continues to be an amenity that makes our district a great place to live and to go to a library. So I hereby resign my position effective immediately, and I wish you all best wishes in the coming years. And therefore, at this point in time, since I'm resigning and not able to act as president anymore, I must turn the meeting over to the vice chair, Linda Ryan. So Linda, take it away.
Oh, I'm very sad to hear that. And thank you for all of your service, Karen. I am perplexed. As what you had just stated, is there any motion to fill Diamond trustee's position?
I would like to propose a motion. First of all, I'm very sorry to hear the resignation of Karen Diamond. You have been valuable and devoted library trustee. And with that thought, I have a motion to replace Karen Diamond's position with the very qualified and experienced Becky Keane-Adams.
I second it.
Is
Carolyn,
Why are we choosing not to have an interview process? Can I get an answer?
we don't have to have an interview process.
We've already interviewed her for the position she took. Why should we have to interview her a second time?
Elected a trustee amongst just the board members without opening it up to the public. Why all of a sudden are you changing that too? Tonight is really an amazing evening. We
Thank you.
have crisscrossed everything. I'm trying to understand if we could just change our procedures just because you feel like doing that.
So Becky, you would have to resign as Willsie's vacancy. And would you be willing to take Diamond's vacancy?
Yes, I would be willing to take the vacancy. Thank you for nominating me. I appreciate your confidence in my abilities. If I were to fill Karen's position, I would then resign from Sue Wilsey's position.
Okay, so then we should take a vote if we would like Becky Keane-Adams to fill the vacancy and be sworn into Diamond's vacancy. So Cindy can take a vote.
Diane,
yes.
Patty,
Yes,
Linda,
Yes.
Carolyn,
I vote no. This is totally against procedure.
and so Karen and Becky don't vote, or does Becky vote?
Becky can vote it or not if she decides.
Becky?
Yes.
That's 4 yes and 1 no.
Okay, and then the next thing on the agenda. Welcome, Becky.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
I believe the next thing on the agenda is other. Does anyone have another?
No, we have to swear Becky
Oh,
in her
Well,
new
you have to swear
position.
her in. Okay,
Well, I would think so, isn't it right?
secretary. Okay, the secretary would do that. Diane, if you could do that.
Yes, please repeat after me, Becky.
Do I need to resign the old position for,
Oh, yeah, I thought you did that by
I
saying.
said I would resign it. So I need to I officially resign the position I filled in Sue Willsey's vacancy.
Okay, so the secretary is recorded now. Cindy,
And then
Yes,
you would have to officially accept the other.
I officially accept the position to fill Karen Diamond's vacancy.
Okay. And then if you could read the oath.
okay, please repeat. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Library Trustee
of the office of Library Trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations, Becky.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Okay, next agenda item is other. Anyone have another? Okay, then
I do.
I move. Carolyn?
I met with the veterans, the Vietnam veterans. They're post 331, that could be incorrect, regarding the veteran benches outside. And they're trying to get some information about who actually, I think, made those benches originally, to see if we could find someone who could help repair them or come up with some suggestions, because they're really in bad shape. At least the benches, not under the atrium, they're in pretty bad shape. So, I mean, nothing's come of it, but I wanted to mention it because it's something that we probably should look into, and hopefully they'll come up with some solutions. I know there have been some suggestions for plastic benches, but I think that's something they need to look into as well, as far as weather and that sort of thing. So I just wanted to share that.
Okay, I remember this situation, and I have some experience with this as far as being a scout leader at the high school level, not with the boys, with the girls, and knowing how these projects work. This was a gold, or not, excuse me, gold is girls. This was an Eagle Award. So therefore, a boy or a group of boys take this on as their project. Once the project is done, unless that particular boy wants to hang on to it, you have to see if another scout will carry it on, if you're having scouts do it, or somebody else has to handle it.
I don't think our interest is in having scouts. I think it's way past that type of work. So right now, we're just in the stages of trying to identify what needs to be done, and then we'll go from there.
Mm-hmm. And that's,
Becky?
Yeah, I think that there was some emails between Susan and Tisha, if I'm not wrong, about the same problem. So I think, Susan, maybe you have some more updated information, possibly. If I don't know if anything happened after that, but it has been looked into already, I think, right?
Well, we had approached Eagle Scouts, 2 different Eagle Scout leaders, scout leaders about it. And they initially thought that they would be able to find someone, but they were not able to. So Dave has actually done a lot of research into what the possibilities are. I would suggest that we put this on the agenda for next month.
sounds good.
Yep.
All right, Cindy, oh, yes, Becky?
I have another. I wanted to bring some attention to this article that was in the paper on March 31st from that Carolyn wrote. I know that I am new to the board, and I haven't been involved in a lot of the things that were mentioned in this article, but there are some things in here that I find hard to believe, if not untrue. For example, board presentations, proposals, etc., are not included on the website for residents' review before meetings. That's not true.
Oh, yes, it is. That's exactly true. There are no presentations.
Okay,
on
Carolyn,
the web.
Becky's talking right now, please. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm reading straight from the article. I can't speak to proposals. You're right, I haven't actually seen that. However, it says presentations, proposals, etc. So that's not an entirely statement. Entirely true statement. Then there's another one that says, the board president read a blah, blah, blah. Incumbents refuse to include missing facts or correct errors in minutes. Board videos are edited, hiding information from residents.
That's true.
I don't think that's true. Also, current trustees aligned to stop term limits. If that's true, that was before I came on board. I never witnessed any of that. Current trustees refuse to review the 2019 capital projects for necessity and evaluate costs before approval. Again, not true with this roof. Like we talked about tonight, it's been going on for 2 years. Current trustees approved non-emergency projects, $900,000 unnecessary roof replacement. Says unnecessary, which is contradictory to what the experts have told us and what we agreed as a board. And no, it is not an emergency right now, but if we waited until it was, then we would be in trouble for having consequences of a leaky roof. So I just want to point out that in my opinion, those things are not true. And I would like to also quote a couple things, and I know it's late and I'm sorry for taking more time, but I've been trying to get this addressed for a while. So the things that I mentioned earlier about that would be helpful for new trustees to put in the packet, the public library trustee ethics statement. Trustees shall respect the opinions of their colleagues and not be critical or disrespectful when they disagree or oppose a viewpoint different than their own. Trustees must distinguish clearly in their actions and statements between their personal philosophies and attitudes and those of the library, acknowledging and supporting the formal position of the board, even if they disagree. Trustees must respect the confidential nature of the library business and not disclose information to anyone. And then one more, I think, from the 12 golden rules for board members. A trustee does not voice her or his opinion, opposition, or criticism, either publicly or privately, after a policy or rule is adopted by a majority vote of the board. So I think that you're really in violation of the ethics of this board, and I would hope that you might not do that in the future.
Thank you for your input, but those are personal opinions, and when I make any statements, they're factual. And I'll be glad to point out all the facts to help you, but I appreciate your input.
And pardon me, but that also is a personal opinion.
The only problem is when you're on the board, we represent as a board. So,
We represent the truth.
correct.
That's a
which
matter of
we go
opinion.
back and look at. So again,
No, it's-
we just have to all be in compliance with that and make sure that we view things. And when we make a board decision, we stand by that board decision. So thank you, Becky. Anyone else have any other comment? If not, I'd like to adjourn. All right. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Patty, second? Diane? Okay, Cindy, if you could take a roll, please.
Patty,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
Carolyn,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Diane.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Good luck,
Hey,
Karen.
everyone, have a great, bye. Thanks, Karen. Bye,
Bye.
take care.
We'll miss you.
10:31.
Yes.